Buongiorno and welcome to my home. From my kitchen, I'm gonna show you how to do a simple Italian recipe. Today we're gonna do caserecci pasta with smoked ham, peas, mushroom in a creamy parmesan sauce. And now I show you the ingredients for the recipe of today. Onions, peas, mushroom, smoked ham, little of butter, parmesan cheese, some cream. And for the final touch, some chopped parsley. Now we're gonna start chopping our onions. You don't really need a lot, so this is the quantity for 2 people, actually for me and my wife, that we're gonna cook it today. So first is the onions, and we put in our pans. Now we're gonna start to cut our ham. I like to cut in small medium cubes. All the ingredients here are for 7 ounces of pasta and for 2 people, enough for 2 people. Now we're gonna put a little of olive oil in our pans and we're gonna start to cook in the onions. In the meantime that our pans became hot, we're gonna cut our mushrooms. You can use portobello mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, whatever kind of mushroom do you have. I'm gonna use portobello today. So we have our ham, our mushrooms. Okay, we're gonna add some peas. Now we have our onions that we start to cooking. Medium-low heat. So we want that you need to sweat, but you don't need to get to burn. I'm gonna add my prosciutto. I got a little bigger because the ham is gonna losing a little of his water and he's gonna become smaller. And even because I like the big chunks of ham. So we're gonna roast it now. The smoked ham with the onions. We're gonna add a little of pepper, just to give a little of taste. Be careful with the salt, because we're gonna have this smoked ham that usually they are a little salty. And we're gonna have the pasta water where we're gonna add a little of salt. So I suggest that before we serving, we're gonna adjust for salt. Let's not forget that we're gonna use some parmesan cheese that you always have a nice salty flavor. Like you can see, the ham start to release a little of his water. That is good because it's gonna help our onions to get cooked and don't get burned. Now we're gonna add our peas so they can start to cooking. I have used frozen peas. Right now is not the season of the fresh peas, but in the spring you can use fresh peas. So usually with the frozen peas, I just use them frozen, I don't boil before. Just put it in the pan, like 2 minutes, they're gonna be nice. In the meantime that our peas, ham and onions, they start to become nice and browny, we're gonna start to cook the pasta. I got the water here, I'm gonna put some salt, and we're gonna start to boiling the pasta. Let me raise a little the fire. Salt, you can use sea salt or regular kosher salt. We cover, we wait that the water will start to boiling again, and after we're gonna add the pasta. You can follow the instruction on the package. For this pasta, that is a really traditional one, is made in a small factory in the middle of Italy, particularly from Fara San Martino. Is a pasta that is very nice to serve al dente, and he keep nice the cooking. So what we're gonna do it? You're gonna throw the pasta in, and we're gonna calculate almost like 8 minutes to having a real pasta al dente. Okay, our water is boiling. I'm adding the pasta. I'm gonna stir it so it don't get attached, and we're gonna let it cook. For this kind of pasta, we need like between 8 and 10 minutes. Our prosciutto smoked is start to become crispy. Our peas are almost done. I'm gonna add the mushroom. Why I'm adding the mushroom now? Because the mushroom they are full of water, so they're gonna release the water in the sauce that we needed. So all the flavor they're gonna be all together, and because we don't wanna get them too much cooked. We're gonna lower a little the flame. I'm gonna add a little more olive oil just to help the cooking. Our pasta is boiling. Another important thing, when you drain the pasta, never discharge all the water. Just keep the water in a small pints, so you can using when you saute your pasta to helping to emulsify all the ingredients and make a little nice creamy sauce. Now we're gonna add to our sauce, to help in cooking, a little of the pasta water. And I'm gonna add the cream. I don't gonna put too much cream. I'm gonna save a little, because probably I'm gonna need it later on when I'm gonna toss the pasta in the sauce and I'm gonna saute. At this moment, I'm gonna add a little of salt. Now we're gonna chop some parsley that we're gonna put in our sauce, and we're gonna use for the decoration. You can use regular parsley that you can find everywhere in a store or in a farmer's market. Contrary to the tendency, I don't like to chop my parsley too much. I like to leave a little rough, so you can give a little more taste. Our sauce is almost done. Our pasta needs a little more. Okay, here again, our pasta is almost ready. We're gonna taste it. Nice. Now we're gonna drain it. Like I told you, I put a pot under my drain so I can save some of the water that I can use when I'm gonna saute my pasta. Here is my water. My sauce is reheating. And now I toss the pasta in. This one is the most important moment when you cook pasta. I keep the pasta a little before that is real al dente, so a little more less cooked than al dente. Why? Because it's gonna continue to cook in the pan with all the ingredients, with all the sauce. Now we're gonna add a little piece of butter, just to make a little more rich, some Parmesan cheese, I like a big chunk of Parmesan cheese in my pasta, a little of pepper, and I start to saute. Like you can see, the pasta absorbs almost all the sauce, so I'm gonna use some water so I can finish to go all the cooking to the stage when it's gonna be al dente. You can use a little of olive oil too, just to make a little more shiny, and we are almost done. When I do pastas every day, I like to use the sauté pans. Why I like to use the sauté pans? Because the flame is gonna be more open and you're gonna make that famous magic things that happen when you're cooking. So the sauce, I like to say, is gonna marry with the pasta, and we're gonna have a beautiful wedding. We're almost done, and we're gonna be ready to plate it. It became one thing, like you can see, the peas, the mushroom, the smoked ham. The smoked ham, it gives that little of brown color, so our sauce is not really white. I got that little brownish color, and it's beautiful. Now I'm ready to serve. I'm gonna top it with a little of Parmesan cheese. I can tell I'm gonna do little of parsley, and that's it. Fusilli Caserecci with the smoked ham, mushrooms, peas. From my kitchen to your kitchen. I see you next time. Buon appetito!